Andy Gipson, Department of Agriculture and Commerce. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Doing great. How you doing, Paul?
Doing good. Good to see the hat is with you, and
always.
You're looking good. Man, first of all, I wanted to ask you, how's it going as far as the holding cell over there? What was the next step on that one? Is it still in the works?
Yeah, it's in the works. We have made a lot of progress. Our target is to have that project, that's the Guard Armory project, concluded before the State Fair begins in October 6th. We have been working with an architect and the Department of Archives and History. They have kind of put their blessing on our plan to restore the old armory, make it a task force command center to fight crime in the capital city. And so we're on track for that and looking forward to it. And we've done a lot of things in the meanwhile. We hired Jimmy Herzog, our first chief of security. He's the former deputy director of Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. He's working for us now at the fairgrounds and doing a great job. We've had, 100 events recently and hadn't had any problems, and we're wide open at the fairgrounds.
Okay, well, kudos to them too, because it shows if you put the right procedures in place, and you can say that for any city right now, but you put the right procedures in place, and it's going to attack the problem. The Black Rodeo went over. Everybody had a great time.
Had a great time. Not one problem there. And, we just got to realize that we are in a situation that there's a crime wave across this country, and we got to respond with equal and overwhelming force to deal with it.
This is off the subject, but I just read the story earlier, and it just happened on Friday, the move by the House to take your gun rights away. To me, that is frightening that it got that far.
Well, it shouldn't surprise us. I mean, they've been trying to take away our gun rights for decades now. The Democrats have, and I don't think they're going to rest till they get something passed. They passed a little watered down thing, but didn't really hurt any issue. But I tell you what, it's something we can never let our guard down on because it's a constitutional right, it's a constitutional freedom, it's to defend our homes and families, and it's important in Mississippi and across this country.
I may have a different view than you have on this is a little minor watered down thing, because the bill that they passed basically says any gun that has large capacity, they did not define large capacity, and they also said you couldn't manufacture them, you couldn't sell them, you couldn't trade them. Oh, they grandfathered in the current amount, but to me, that's a little bit more than watered down.
Yeah, that bill is a big deal. I'm talking about the one they did pass, the background check thing a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago. But this, it's a great example. We can't ever let our guard down on that.
The upcoming event's going to be a big one. I understand it's going to be everything is just going to be blown out, the Ag and Outdoor Expo.
Yeah.
When is that coming up? And tell me what's in the plans.
Well, if you're a hunter, a fisherman, outdoorsman, you're going to want to be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday from noon to 7, Saturday all day, and then Sunday, of course. We are excited about this show. We've had our first one last year, and this one's promising to be even bigger and better. It's going to be the full trademark, 60,000 square feet indoors of hunting and fishing, gear, boats, equipment, tractors, and it's a combination of agriculture and outdoors, the great outdoors. What a great combo.
Love it. I was there last year, and I got to tell the folks who went, it was a completely different experience than it used to be.
It is. I mean, we've got all new facilities, and this year we're combining this event with something called Bulls, Bands, and Barrels inside the Coliseum, which now joins the trademark. So if you like a Western show, it's going to be a great family-friendly event. There are a lot of activities for kids, an archery shoot, a petting zoo presented by Southern Ag Credit, the Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks, Museum of Natural Science, and the Ag Museum will be on site with stuff for the kids. So it's family friendly. Get ready for hunting season. Come on out and bring the whole crew.
Friday at what time?
Friday at noon to 7 Friday, 10 to 7 Saturday, and 10 to 5 on Sunday. And the Bulls, Bands, and Barrels event is Saturday night, 7 o'clock. By the way, Chris Shivers, who was born in Mississippi, a renowned rodeo star, he's going to be there in person with pictures at the expo.
He's a legend.
He's a professional bull riding legend. He'll be there. You can take your picture with him at the expo starting 4 o'clock on Saturday. So it's going to be a great weekend, another great event. Look, we're sold out at the Trade Mart all the way through the end of the year. It's amazing how many events have come back bigger and better than ever. This is going to be no exception, and I'm looking forward to it because I'm ready to get in the woods and hunt. It's getting that time. I can't wait for it to cool off a little bit.
Dove season and football right around the corner.
That's right.
I do want to ask you this, though. Because we were talking to Richard Robertson about the hospitals. What's your water situation there at the fairgrounds?
Well,
under the boiled water situation.
We have not been drinking Jackson water since the winter because we finished our well last winter. You remember we started that when the freeze shut everything down in 21, and we couldn't even flush the commodes in the Coliseum. So I said, we got to do something. We drilled a well. It is complete. And while we were at it, we had an engineer look at how we could maximize that for the entire Capitol downtown complex. You know, the governor's mansion, the Capitol, all of that. And we've got a solution for the downtown Jackson area to put it all on well water if anybody wants to talk about that. This surface water stuff at the reservoirs would put them on a boil water notice this time. We don't have to worry about that because we're on good, clean well water. People can drink and livestock can drink, and there's plenty of it. We're blessed in Mississippi with a lot of underground aquifer water resources, and there's a huge underground reservoir right under the city of Jackson. We ought to be taking advantage of, in my opinion. That's the way. That's a solution we can do now, not just be talking about this for 10 more years.
Is that feasible to the House and Senate?
It is. Actually, we had an engineer look at it. What would it take to tie in our well to an existing well underground at the Department of Transportation that is untapped? And for about $8 million, they could construct an elevated tank and have pressure well water for the entire downtown Capitol complex area. That's to solve a huge problem like this. That's not a huge investment when you look at the overall amounts of billions of dollars that's being spent by the legislature.
I remember drinking some of that well water when we were irrigating the farms back on the farm, and it's cold but has a good iron taste to it.
It is.
So
it's fresh.
Does this need to be treated?
Well, yeah, we have a well operator and a treatment system on our fairgrounds. We don't need an elevated tank. We got enough. We had the Dixie National Rodeo with our water well in place. But this is something that could be done to tie it into the Capitol complex downtown, get on well water like the hospitals have done. I don't know what the future holds with the EPA and the health department and the city of Jackson water system, but one thing I know, we didn't want to be dependent on that, and we're not. And by the way, our restaurant at the farmers market is on well water too. We hadn't drunk Jackson water, like I said, since the winter, and it's wide open. And we've not even touched 10% of our capacity at the water levels that we're using. So we're looking forward to keep on keeping on. We're not going to stop.
Go back to this bull and bash thing. What is this? A clowns dodging the bulls, or what kind of competition is this?
This is a Western show. It's going to be bull riding, and then bands. They've got some great people. Chris Matthews is going to be there singing. Cole Jones and Justin Champagne. Chase Matthews, Justin Champagne, and Cole Jones. And then after the bands, they'll have a barrel racing event. It is. You can find the details at bullsbandsandbarrels.com and get your tickets at bigtickets.com. But it'll start Saturday at 7 p.m. after the expo. And don't
miss it. Is that only just one day?
One day, one evening, Saturday night, and there you'll get to meet.
All right, hold on, I got more to ask you. But first of all, what are the tickets on that?
Tickets on that $30 at bigtickets.com. Get them in advance there, and of course you can get your tickets to the expo at the expo or visit MississippiOutdoorExpo.com.
Is that adults and children, or just adults?
Well, for the expo, adults is $12 just to get in the wildlife show. $12, and children $6. 5 and under are free. Sunday, kids 12 and under are free. So it's going to be family-friendly, a great event.
More information, we'll give you the website when we come back, but you can go on the website, see it all of the dates and ticket prices and everything else. Back with more on the Commissioner of Agriculture and Commerce, Andy Gipson, next. All right, let's get back live in the Trustmark studio. One opening quick shot here that'll be of interest of country music fans. Naomi Judd, as you knew, she died back in April, and now there's a new report. Claims that she didn't leave any of her estate to her 2 daughters, Winona and Ashley. Radar reports that Naomi's business, or her husband, Larry Strickland, who she wed in 1989, has been named the executor of the estate, leaving him total control of the fortune. And if he ceases or fails to do so, she chose her brother-in-law and also Daniel Chris Waiter as co-executors. The estate is worth about $25 million, so an interesting story there. Have no idea
cut the
what is behind
chillins
the
out.
scenes. Yeah, they must have been real happy when they read that. All right, let's talk about some other things going on as far as the ag department. I did want to ask you this. Earlier this morning when we first started, I read this thing from a farmer in up north, I forgot where it was, who does a co-op with John Deere, and the basis of the story was John Deere is being pressed by the administration to convert everything to electric vehicles. Do you see that in the industry? Where do you think that's going? Combines and tractors?
Well, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you can't raise the crop on battery power. You can't do the work. I heard about a trucker a farmer that tried to haul some horses out west. They had to stop every 100 miles and recharge on one of these electric trucks.
I heard it was 80 miles.
Well, maybe whatever. The horses had to get off. I mean, that's ridiculous. You can't run this country on battery power. Not to mention the fact somebody's got to mine coal somewhere to charge all those batteries. And this administration has lost its mind when it comes to energy. And we got to, we shouldn't be surprised. Biden said he was going to shut down the oil and gas industry, and that is a direct threat to American agriculture, and it's a direct threat to our food supply, so we take it seriously.
It is, especially with these things going on. If you start looking at some of the headlines about, it just seems like China is ready to pop off a nuke at any moment. We're not sure where Russia is and where this guy stands. Yeah. And then Nancy Pelosi is exacerbating the entire problem by, for some reason, wanting to go to Taiwan. It doesn't make sense.
I've never seen a weaker administration than what we've got right now in so many different ways, and it's frightening. We've got to get to November, and we've got to get some relief in this country.
Are you preparing for the 2023? Anything that's a mandate for you as a former legislator that needs to be passed or worked on in the next session?
Not really. We've got pretty much everything in place that we need to have. I want to appreciate the legislature. They funded our office. We are operating 3 different agencies under one umbrella now: the fairgrounds, the Central Farmers Market, and Department of Agriculture. So a lot of efficiency there. Right now, we don't have anything in particular we're going to be pushing. We're going to wait and see what the appetite is, during an election year for different legislation. And I'm sure there are things we'll be supporting. There always are, and things that sometimes we have to oppose.
Andy, I think you've come through on just about everything we talked about in the early days before this became a reality to you, except the flea market, and that hasn't happened yet, but it just takes time.
We're going to get there. We just finished that building up, and we're going to bring it inside the fence, and I'm looking forward to opening that flea market one of these days. But it's coming around. Wait a minute. Is that
where the building you're talking about, the National Guard building, is that where the flea market was?
No, right next door.
No.
Right next door.
Was it?
Right next door to the Armory, there's a big metal barn, and it caught fire and burned about 10 or 12 years ago. Yeah. And we've had to do some renovations inside of it. It's cleaned out. I'd love to show it to you if you come down to the expo this weekend. And
it was a tremendously unique family experience where you could while away some time and just have a good time at the flea market. Because I forgot how many people, for folks who don't remember that, we used to come to Jackson, and if we had a chance, we'd stop by there. But I forgot how many vendors were in there.
Yeah. It was a big. I bought a lot of antiques out of there over the years, but it's coming. We're going to get there. We just got to get some other priorities done first. But you can check it out when you come to the expo. Right. By the way, we're going to be cooking some good smoked brisket and pulled pork at the expo. The Ag Museum cooking team is going to be there, and we're going to be offering fresh barbecue plates and sandwiches for everybody. So you'll enjoy what we call the tasty side of agriculture at the expo this weekend.
Some of that massive equipment's going to be there as far as ag equipment, too, like it was last year?
Ag, outdoor, forestry equipment. We've even got some military. The National Guard's going to be there. We got boats, UTVs. It's going to be a lot of trucks, vehicle, anything you want to show the kids and explore, and a lot of good shopping, and at really special expo pricing starting noon on Friday. then all day on Saturday, and catch the Western Show Bulls bands and barrels, and then Sunday 12 to 5. It's going to be a great day. Great week.
Andy Gipson, the Commissioner of Agriculture and Commerce. Andy, what's next on your dream sheet here, as far as what you'd like to see happen, as far as the architecture there, the plans at the trademark?
Well, the legislature was very successful in getting the funding for the acquisition of those properties on 55, and we've already demolished the old denneries. It was past saving, frankly. We are going to now move to that what's called the OYO, part of the old Regency, and then the last one's the Regency. Cleaning that area up, making it nice and beautiful down through there. Working with the legislature on creating a master plan. I could see it involving a hotel type conventions area, and something iconic for the people of Mississippi to look into the capital city as they drive by. That's the most traveled road in Mississippi, that 55, right in front of the fairgrounds. So, cleaning it up, making it beautiful, and something people of Mississippi could be proud of, like the Trade Mart is.
I do believe at one time the horse shows there were number one anywhere east of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
At the fairgrounds, and I'm not sure how they rate now, but I mean, it drew people from all over the place.
We have horse shows there that draw folks from Australia and all over the world. And, of course, the Dixie National Rodeo is the largest, still the largest. And we got top 5 rodeo in the world last year, the Dixie National that we hold there in February. At the State Fair this coming October, we're going to have a Wild West show with Buffalo Bill Cody and Annie Oakley riding around. And we're bringing in the Highway Patrol mounted unit's going to be there. We're really excited about that. And other law enforcement that, tied agriculture and all of it together for a great family experience.
Every rodeo ought to have a picture of a previous guest we've had on for more than one time, and that's Liesl the Clown.
Oh, my goodness. We lost a treasure there in 2020. Sure. Liesl, a Mississippian, a famous clown. We did a tribute for him inside the Coliseum, at a permanent memorial to Liesl there that you can see. And a lot of members. Everybody in Mississippi remembers Liesl the Clown now.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody's asking me on text line about Farmers Market. Where is it when it's open?
The Mississippi Farmers Market, the restaurant, is open every day for breakfast and lunch.
We're talking about the Ag Museum.
The Ag Museum is on Lakeland Drive. The Farmers Market's on High Street. The Ag Museum Cafe is right here on Lakeland, right near the Sports Hall of Fame. Yeah. And then you can walk across the bridge into the museum and buy smoked meats there, by the way, at our general store. All the meats that we'll be cooking at the expo, you can buy them vacuum packed at the general store. We call it our tasty side of agriculture. And the farmers market, Thursdays and Saturdays, farmers will have fresh produce there. This is prime time. You don't wait any longer. Come on down if you come into the farmers market Thursday and Saturday, and you can eat at our cafe while you're there.
Let me tell you something. I've had some of my better meals there. I forgot whether it was Jim Buck Ross. I think it was Lester Spell, but had some business meetings there.
That's right.
Some good cooking, man.
We still have business meetings there. It's a great place, and George does a great job there. Fried chicken, you can't beat it. And don't forget dessert. But that's one thing we love doing is reminding folks, without agriculture, you don't have that good food to eat. And as a federal government, I hope our feds can get a hold of that before they shut down agriculture.
I do want to ask you one other thing, though, because one of the things that you did, the mission statement that you've had, we're getting more young people involved in agriculture. And I know you've been working on that.
Yep. I've got a big announcement. I can't talk about it right now, but Friday at 10 o'clock.
Whoa, that's
Friday. We have a
Tuesday.
I got a press conference Friday, 10 o'clock, right before the expo, to talk about taking our efforts to reach more youth to the next level statewide in schools all across the state, and it's part of our workforce development program to keep agriculture strong. It's going to be a great announcement. I can't wait to share it.
Well, yeah, but you can wait to share because you're not sharing it.
I gotta wait till Friday at 10 o'clock.
Man, I just feel used. Thank you, man. Appreciate it very much. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Y'all come
Andy
see
Gipson, Commissioner of Mississippi Department of Agriculture.